This is The Fast Count with SCW Pro.
Welcome, everybody, to the latest episode of The Fast Count with SCW Pro. I am your host, SCW Pro Hall of Famer Merrick Brave, and I am joined by one of my co-hosts, the wrestling historian, Alex McCarthy.
Great to be back. Great to be here.
And for the second time, we might have to start a counter for this. We can see who our most tenured special guest is after we're 5 years, 10 years, 25 years into doing this program. But we're joined by SCW Pro Commissioner Sean Morrow. How you doing, Sean?
I'm doing pretty good. Yes, twice more than I expected to be on this early in the run.
Yes, and as we learned last week, Sean, you are this year's inductee into the SCW Pro Hall of Fame. You're going to be joining myself and a whole host of others in the SCW Pro Hall of Fame. So I guess we're just going to start with that. Sean, tell me, how does it make you feel to know that in just over a month's time, you will be joining the SCW Pro Hall of Fame?
I guess, boy, I don't know if the realism hasn't hit yet or what, or the surreal feeling, but it's just an honor way earlier than I expected. I mean, I'm not saying that, boy, it sounds narcissistic to say, well, someday I would hope to be put in, but like, there's so many guys like the Mark Storms and the Timothy Regals who need to go in before me. So it's just truly an honor that I actually get to go in now. The first one we did was in 2016 in Walcott. We're back at the Walcott Coliseum for this one. Just a good time. It's going to be one of those, like we talked about this weekend, memories. It's all about making those memories, and I'm excited to make these memories at this 23rd anniversary back 23rd. In Walcott. Who says you can't go home? We might as well do a show at Don's while we're at it too. Jeez.
Like you said, Sean, September 19th, the Walcott Coliseum, SCW Pro's 23rd anniversary event. That's going to be a special night. Sean, you've worn many hats during your time with SCW, and that time is well over 20 years at this point. You've been a referee. You did a little refereeing this weekend, and we're going to talk about those shows later on this broadcast, but you've been a referee. You've been maybe the longest running commissioner in all of independent wrestling, where it'd be hard to fact check that, but yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and say that is 100% true. But you've also been a sound guy, which is a very vital, important part of any independent wrestling show. We got a lot of entrance musics that need to play. You've also been a video editor for a lot of the backstage stuff that we're doing, including being a producer on the program that we're currently on right now, the Fast Count with SCW Pro. Of all the hats you've worn in SCW, which do you feel has been the most fulfilling? Which has been your favorite during your 20 years plus?
I have to say that this is a perfectly timed question because honestly, even though I was sore today, it felt good to get back in the ring this weekend. I reffed 5 matches. It'd been 3 years since I had reffed. Been 10 years before. No, I think I helped you guys out once at a Bandits when Black and Braves doing something at the Bandits. I might have reffed a couple one-offs there, but I have to think reffing is fun because it gives me an opportunity to get in the ring and work with the kids. They only see me in the grumpy production mode where I'm panicking because we got to get the screen going and every computer's crashed. And as you can attest, sound can be easy when it's easy.
It's easy when it's easy.
But when it isn't, as we talked about this weekend ourselves there, yeah, Alex. But right. Boy, reffing is fun. And I'll have to tell you, though, one thing is weird, and we could talk about this offline later. I'm noticing this in-ring styles of wrestling have changed since the last time I refereed.
A little bit faster,
a little bit faster, quicker. Not a lot of circling around, not a lot of boom boom like we used to get. It's just straight into the action I'm noticing these days. So it was kind of different. It was like safe space wrestling almost. It was a little weird. It was the whole different concept. And I'm pretty excited to get back in the ring. So I have to say, reffing is my favorite hat if I had to choose one today.
Well, you mentioned it, Sean. We had 2 events this past weekend. It was a double shot of free action. Saturday, we were at the Durant Firefighters Festival. We were getting that one in before the rains came. I'll tell you what, there was a delicious rib tasting, rib smoking competition ahead of that event. And while the action was hard-hitting and high-flying, those ribs might have stolen the show, at least from my perspective. Alex, go ahead and tell the people some of the highlights they missed if they weren't out in Durant on Saturday.
Yeah, we had some great action in Durant. We saw Tigre Amore defeat Nick Mercury. We saw Mason Grayskull pick up the win over RJ Crazy back from England.
From across the pond.
That's right. The Shug Shane Hauser defeated JP Finger in a super fun match. Cornboy defended the SCW Pro Championship against Calvin Kelly. Threw him in a dumpster. He threw the man in a dumpster.
You never know what's going to happen.
Somebody
in SCW
said
Pro.
we could have a dumpster match. We could have an ambulance match. We had an ambulance for our locker room. We could have had WCW backstage assault on that event.
We were one step away from the old Stone Cold or the Kurt
Angle,
Angle, the milk match. I mean, we almost had the fire truck came through.
That's right. Jared Thumb defeated Hollywood Hassan. Carlos Oliva picked up the victory over Shane Boucher. Main event saw El Pringle, Johnny Wisdom, and Nevin Knoxville pick up the win over Matt Mayday, Brandon Becker, and Torrey Fox. What a great time in Durant.
Yeah, what a match that was. And thank you very much to the city of Durant for having us out once again. But on Sunday, we return to Wake Brewing in Rock Island, Illinois as part of Alternating Currents Fest. Gosh, probably for the 5th or 6th year in a row at this point.
I would say, yeah.
It was a great night, great afternoon, really, at Wake Brewing in Rock Island. Again, trying to beat the rain. But we did. Everybody got to see all of the action. Everything we had planned went off without a hitch. What did the people miss if they weren't out? Although there were a lot of people. New attendance record for SCW Pro at Wake Brewing. What did the people miss if they weren't there, Alex?
So many people, yes. Opening match saw Calvin Kelly defeat RJ Crazy. El Pringle in 6-man action again, teaming up with Thumb and Finger to defeat Brandon Becker, Rylan Quinn, and Hollywood Hassan. Tigre Amore picked up another victory, this time over Dante Leon. We had a hardcore match for the QC Cup. Lonzo the Chicano took on Carlos Oliva. They were hitting each other with cookie sheets and going through a table, fighting under the tent. It was pretty crazy. And then we saw Brody Dahl pick up the win over Torrey Fox. Great match,
yes.
John Bonhart and Casey Jax defeated Drake Holloway and Dominic Zagreus. I never want to see Casey Jax win, but I do enjoy watching him get beat up. Save that segue for a minute here. And then in the main event, Cornboy successfully defended the SCW Pro Championship against Hall of Famer, the Shug Shane Hollister.
Well, Alex, like you alluded to there, we have a match ready for our viewers watching at home right now. We're going to take it all the way back to, well, just 2 months ago, June 2026, when Shane Hollister had a mystery opponent who ended up being
mystery partner
in a tag team match. Mystery partner ended up being the Iceberg, Dion Roosman. They took on Torrey Fox and Casey Jax of Animosity. Let's send it to the ring for that contest.
Right now, the following contest is a tag team match. Accompanied to the ring by John Bonhart and Mark Storm, Torrey Fox, Casey Jax, Animosity. And their opponents, Shane Hollister! And now, let us all find out who his mystery partner is. From Wilson, Alaska, the Iceberg, Dion Roosman.
In fantastic shape despite the sleepless nights.
Dion Roosman looks like $1,000,000 like always. He looks bigger than ever. And Torrey Fox wants no part of this. Torrey Fox making the tag to Casey Jax. Casey Jax told me he has a new occupation as an ice cream salesman, but the van he came in was white and windowless. I don't know.
Casey Jax throwing up the double biceps while Roosman. Ow!
That's about as good as the time that Marcus Crane threw double biceps at Vader. And that is how you chop through somebody.
across the left nipple.
Casey Jax looks like Paraguay.
Casey Jax escaping that move here, trying to get back on top of things. Going in the wheelbarrow, but Dan Roosman just too powerful.
Spiked him down.
Tori Fox looking at the reason she doesn't want to tag in.
Tori Fox wants no part of this. Oh! Vintage iceberg. Tori Fox still talking a big game on the apron, even though she's not doing any of the doing.
Roosman hasn't missed a step. Casey Jax finally managing some offense here. He has been getting manhandled for the better part of a few minutes. Oh, Northern Light suplex with the bridge.
Two count only.
The Sugar bringing out some of his amateur background on his tippy toes with that neck bridge.
Casey Jax runs him back into the corner.
Casey Jax laying in that big right hand, climbing to the top turnbuckle with the Sugar set up. Oh, wait a minute.
What the heck is Mark Storm doing on the ring apron? Hey, come on.
Tori Fox hanging on for dear life.
Oh,
Spilling to the outside with a hard landing.
come on.
Like-minded people.
And she hangs out with Casey Jax.
Noggin knocker.
Sugar!
The Suge using the tag partners against each other. He's getting fired up. He has been taking the beat down here, but he needs a tag.
Suge needs to turn around and make a tag. Suge. Sigmund. Oh, the tag is made. The iceberg. Casey Jax is getting beat from pillar to post here. Looking for a snake eyes, but no, Casey Jax. Up and over. Big clothesline. The iceberg looking great.
He has taken out everyone on the warpath.
Got him up.
Oh! Jumps him.
Almost into a power slam.
At the last possible second, Tori Fox breaking up the pin.
And Tori Fox bailing out. Tori Fox wants no part of Dion Roosman. Dion looking, we don't know where this is.
He's got him in his sights and wait a second.
Oh, come on.
The other bald dude on the apron now.
As the only guy that's respectable and bald in this company.
Roosman not having that one.
Try it again.
Peg off here. Yeah, I don't know what you were thinking either. Oh, wait a minute. Doubling up on him. Roosman kicking off.
Roosman kicks out with two people.
Kicking off of that total oblivion.
Casey Jax picking Dion Roosman up.
Tori Fox was setting up for something, but Roosman getting out of that predicament. Oh, wait a second. Oh! Big man stuff.
Dion hit the OMG button.
And Tori Fox bails first.
Tag made by the Shug.
Oh, spear! Oh, wait a minute. The Shug tagged in, though.
I don't think Dion realized it.
These two are not normal tag partners. I don't think he realized what happened. But now the Shug is in, goes for the buzzsaw.
No! Back kick.
Oh, Tori Fox.
Kick. Oh, Tori was looking for a destroyer again, but she got caught.
The Shug saw it coming. Oh, just a disrespectful slap. Oh, wait a minute, go for that.
Shug brain.
Dumps her on her head.
Goodbye, Tori Fox. She might wake up a Cubs fan after that.
The Shug has him lined up. Oh, Casey Jackson misses.
Oh, hey, wait a minute.
Rolls him up.
1, 2. Oh, no.
Your winner is Casey Jax, Tori Fox, Animosity.
In there.
What?
Are you kidding me?
Roosman! Oh, no! What just happened?
Where in the world is this coming from?
I don't think he's done. Oh, no! Oh, right in the kidney! He speared him right in the kidneys!
Right at the lower back, the base of the spine, almost cut him in half.
Where is this attitude from Roosman?
We haven't seen him in a minute.
This is Dominic Zagreus. You're watching the Fast Count with SCW Pro.
And we are back. That's right. As you guys saw, Dion Roosman taking out his frustrations on the Shug Shane Hollister after their loss back in June. And I got a bit of breaking news, gentlemen, on September 19th at our 23rd anniversary event at the Walcott Coliseum in Walcott, Iowa, going one-on-one, the Iceberg Dion Roosman and the Shug Shane Hollister. That's going to be one hell of a match, gentlemen.
Huge announcement. Incredible.
Yeah, this is not the Dion Roosman to be messing with. He is the best he's ever looked. Possibly not getting much sleep with that newborn at home. This is an angry Dion Roosman.
We know that could make you a little angry, a little
no.
Yeah.
I don't want to make light of it. He was not very happy.
not happy with the Shug Shane Hollister, and these two will clash at our 23rd anniversary event in just over a month's time. That's not the only announcement we want to make tonight. Alex McCarthy, you have a special announcement to make regarding a brand new independent wrestling promotion opening up here in the great state of Iowa.
That's right. In Fort Dodge, Iowa, myself and Jordan McCubbin are opening up a new promotion called Pro Wrestling Frenzy, and we'll have our first event on September 5th. It is going to be called The Frenzy Begins. And today, here on the Fast Count, we want to announce the main event for that show will be Matt Mayday versus Anakin Murphy. Matt Mayday, no stranger to SCW Pro fans, over 20 years, a legend.
Formerly known as Crotch,
a legend in Midwest independent wrestling. Anakin Murphy's been all over Game Changer Wrestling. He's been in SCW Pro in the past as well.
I believe a couple times we've had him in.
And Anakin is really doing great right now in the independents and doing great in GCW and all over the Midwest. So to see kind of like this young up and comer who's just starting to make the rounds all over the Midwest, taking on a Midwest legend, it's going to be a great clash, and that's going to be our main event on September 5th.
Alex,
only $10 GA, $20 for VIP.
Where can people buy tickets if they're interested in going to that one?
So they can follow us on PW Frenzy on Facebook and Instagram, and there's a link there to the Fort Frenzy website because it'll be at Fort Frenzy in Fort Dodge, Iowa. They can click on that link and buy those tickets.
And for anyone who's sitting here at home panicking that Alex McCarthy is going to be done with SCW Pro, that is not true. Alex McCarthy will continue his duties on this program and also with SCW Pro, in addition to running Pro Wrestling Frenzy. And we wish you a lot of success on your first event and many more successful events moving forward. All right, guys, I want to throw it to some national professional wrestling news now. And it's something we talked about last week when Jay was with us. So, Sean, we'll get your perspective on this as well. And that's the feud between CM Punk and Kevin Owens. In my opinion, it's the most riveting piece of business on professional wrestling television right now. And that's going to culminate in a match this Friday night on SmackDown between Owens and Punk for the Undisputed Championship. Alex, my question to you as a historian, when was the last time we saw a championship match of this caliber on free television, so to speak?
I mean, I'm thinking in WWE, I think it's been a while. We saw a world title change hands on AEW a couple months back. But gosh, I mean, I can't think of the last time a world title was even defended on Raw or SmackDown. I feel like it's been quite a while.
It used to be an occurrence that happened a little bit more than happens now. But I'm just talking about with such momentum behind this story. I mean, it's the most talked about professional wrestling story on the internet right now. Real life animosity between Kevin Owens, between CM Punk, dating back to 20 years ago at an independent event, a Ring of Honor event, where CM Punk berated Kevin Owens in the locker room. This was not in storyline. This was not out in front of fans. CM Punk berated Kevin Owens for, of all things, wrestling in a t-shirt. Now, 20 years ago, that was something that was, I would say, looked down upon as somebody who's been in the business 23 years myself. In 2026, that is pretty commonplace. I would say at least half the wrestlers on at least any independent show are wrestling with some sort of t-shirt or tank top on. But at the time, it was taboo, Sean. I got to throw it to you now. Kevin Owens, I know you've always been a big fan of Kevin Owens because he is an anomaly when it comes to professional wrestlers and, the type of physiques that they normally have. He's clearly not a Hulk Hogan. He's clearly not an Ultimate Warrior or a ravishing Rick Rude. Kevin Owens is a bigger fellow, a huskier fellow. And you and I have been friends for a long time. We've played some professional wrestling video games together. Whenever you create a wrestler of yourself, it's almost a carbon copy of what Kevin Owens looks like today.
I appreciate you teeing that up that way because I wasn't sure you were going to let me say that because it's almost like burying it. But my problem is I don't have a problem with Kevin Owens. I've always liked Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is me wrestling. Kevin Owens he's not like the modern day Dusty Rhodes in any way, shape, or form. But this is a dude who's out there doing athletic stuff who shouldn't look like he can do this athletic stuff.
Agreed.
This guy can do a swanton. This guy can do crazy stuff. He taught himself how to speak English by listening to JR talk on Raw. This guy there's something about him. There's something unique about him. And that's why he has stood the test of time. Now, I will say this, having been in locker rooms in the 2000s, I could see where that was a thing. I remember what it was like to be in that era, but it's so crazy that that's a thing because I'm pretty sure I see CM Punk wrestle with shirts on all the time now. So I mean, again, I don't want to be the guy that's always the 1-2 punch, but it's crazy how what was cool 20 years ago or not cool 20 years ago is cool now.
So what you're saying, Sean, is from CM Punk's or from Kevin Owens' perspective, it's kind of the pot calling the kettle black here. CM Punk's been known to offend in the t-shirt wearing arena a time or two.
Also, wasn't CM Punk wrestling in basketball shorts during this era? How is that less offensive than a t-shirt?
Well, Alex, so this Friday night on SmackDown, CM Punk versus Kevin Owens, what are the odds that this is a one and done? Or if you were in charge of creative for WWE, would you keep this program going? Because like we've mentioned it a couple times now, this program is white hot right now, and I think there's some legs to this. In my perspective, I think they could keep this going beyond Friday.
I think so, absolutely. I mean, the only build to this match has just been those two on the mic, in the ring, going after each other, and they help you forget that you're watching a show. They make it feel real. You know, sometimes you'll watch something and it'll be like, okay, yeah, but they're going to go have a beer together after the show. These guys do not seem like they're going to have a beer together.
You think Punk and Owens are going to have a beer?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think so.
Maybe a root beer?
I don't even know about that. You know, they just make it very easy to suspend your disbelief, to get into it, and to want to see that match. I mean, like, I don't have USA, and I'm like, how am I gonna watch that match Friday night? Because
illegal channels,
perhaps.
Get a VPN.
Sean, will you be tuning in this Friday to watch Kevin Owens and CM Punk battle it out? And do you hope that this feud continues beyond this Friday SmackDown?
I think I will. I can watch it on the USA app, I believe. I have capability of doing that at home. I look forward to seeing a lot of wrestling on everything's on apps now these days. But one way or another, I know I'm going to be able to see the outcome of this match, whether if I don't get to see it in real time. The WWE on Facebook is very good at letting you know everything you need to see. I look forward to seeing what this is, and I'm kind of hoping this is just a taste of something.
Well, as we are running out of time right now, I'm going to ask you one more question, gentlemen. I just need a short answer from you. This match takes place in Canada. Could we see an upset? Could Kevin Owens win the title this Friday? Alex?
I don't want an Alex is Wrong segment next week, so I'm going to say no.
No. Okay, Sean?
I'll say yes then.
Wow, Sean predicting a title change this Friday. We'll have to see how it turns out.
I'm good at losing.
We will see you next Monday on the Fast Count with SCW Pro. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
And that's the Fast Count with SCW Pro. Next time, keep your shoulders off the mat.